Purpose serves as the foundation upon which every meaningful action is built. It is the invisible force that drives individuals to rise above challenges, make sacrifices, and push through even when every external condition suggests giving up. Without purpose, life can feel aimless, decisions become random, and even success can seem hollow. Understanding the why behind our actions is not just about having clarity, it's about aligning every effort with a vision that transcends momentary satisfaction. Purpose fuels passion, and passion in turn fuels action. When someone has a clear purpose, they are far less likely to be derailed by setbacks or distracted by temporary pleasures. They have a compass that keeps them steady even in the stormiest conditions. Purpose is deeply personal and can vary from one individual to another. For some, it might be building a legacy, while for others, it's about serving a community, nurturing relationships, or achieving a specific dream. However, the challenge is that many people drift through life without ever discovering their true purpose. They become so consumed by daily routines, societal expectations, and external pressures that they rarely pause to reflect on what truly matters to them. Understanding purpose requires self-awareness and introspection. It requires asking difficult questions such as what drives me, what impact do I want to leave on the world, and what brings me fulfillment beyond material success. These questions are uncomfortable because they demand honesty and vulnerability, but answering them is the first step toward aligning life with a meaningful cause. Moreover, purpose acts as an anchor during turbulent times. When life throws curveballs, whether it's personal loss, failure, or uncertainty, it's often purpose that keeps people from sinking into despair. For example, someone driven by the purpose of providing a better life for their family will find ways to overcome financial struggles, job loss, or personal disappointments because their purpose extends beyond their immediate emotional state. It becomes a non-negotiable driving force. On the contrary, individuals without a clear purpose are often left feeling lost and defeated when challenges arise because they lack a deeper why to keep them going. Having a purpose doesn't mean life becomes easier. It means that struggles gain meaning. When the why is strong enough, the how becomes secondary. Obstacles turn into lessons and failures become stepping stones. Consider two individuals facing the same challenge, one with a clear sense of purpose and the other without. The one with purpose sees the challenge as a temporary hurdle on their journey to a larger goal, while the other sees it as a dead end. This distinction in mindset can determine whether someone perseveres or gives up. Purpose also has a ripple effect on the people around us. When someone lives with a clear purpose, they inspire others to do the same. Leaders, visionaries, and change makers throughout history have all been guided by a powerful sense of purpose. Whether it was the fight for equality, the pursuit of knowledge, or the dedication to innovation, their clarity of purpose became a rallying point for countless others. Purpose is infectious. It creates momentum, attracts like-minded people, and builds communities centered around shared goals. However, purpose isn't always grand or world-changing. It doesn't have to involve building empires or changing millions of lives. Sometimes purpose can be as simple as being a loving parent, a supportive friend, or a dependable team member. What matters most is that it's authentic and deeply felt. People often fall into the trap of comparing their purpose with others, thinking it must be something extraordinary to be valuable. But the truth is, every purpose, big or small, holds significance because it serves as a guide for living intentionally. Living with purpose also enhances emotional well-being. Research has shown that individuals with a strong sense of purpose tend to experience lower levels of stress, anxiety, and depression. This is because purpose offers perspective. When faced with daily frustrations, individuals with purpose are better able to focus on the bigger picture rather than getting bogged down by trivial concerns. They also tend to feel a stronger sense of fulfillment because their actions align with their values and long-term goals. It's also worth noting that purpose evolves over time. What drives someone in their 20s might not be the same as what drives them in their 40s or 60s. Life experiences, changing priorities, and personal growth all play a role in shaping one's purpose. Therefore, it's essential to revisit and reflect on purpose regularly. Are your actions still aligned with your current values? Are you still passionate about your goals? These are questions worth asking periodically to ensure you remain on the right path. Ultimately, purpose is not something handed to us. It's something we discover, define, and refine throughout our lives. It's the lens through which we view our goals, challenges, and triumphs. When we act with purpose, we not only create meaningful outcomes for ourselves, but also contribute positively to the lives of others. Purpose is not a luxury, it's a necessity for a fulfilling and impactful life. Without it, even the most significant achievements can feel empty, but with it, even the smallest actions can feel deeply satisfying. Discipline is the cornerstone of any meaningful achievement. It is the bridge between setting a goal and reaching it, the invisible thread that holds dreams and results together. While motivation provides the initial spark to start something, discipline is the consistent fuel that keeps the fire burning, especially during times when motivation wanes. The truth is, motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes depending on our emotional state, circumstances, or external influences. Discipline, on the other hand, is unwavering. It is the ability to stick to a plan, honor commitments, and show up for ourselves even when the excitement has faded and the path feels monotonous. The foundation of discipline begins with small daily habits. It's not always about making massive life changes overnight, but about showing up consistently in the little things. For example, waking up early, dedicating time to read, maintaining a workout routine, or following through on promises. These are seemingly small acts, but they compound over time to create significant results. Discipline thrives in structure. When individuals create routines and schedules that align with their goals, they remove the burden of making countless decisions every day. Instead of asking, should I go to the gym today? The disciplined person already knows the answer because it's embedded in their daily routine. One of the most challenging aspects of discipline is overcoming the voice in our heads that seeks comfort and ease. The human brain is wired to seek pleasure and avoid discomfort, which often makes disciplined actions feel unnatural, especially in the beginning. Waking up early when the bed is warm, sticking to a diet when unhealthy food is tempting, or focusing on deep work when distractions are abundant, all of these require a conscious override of our natural inclinations. Discipline is about winning these micro battles every day. Each time someone chooses to act in alignment with their goals instead of their momentary feelings, they reinforce their discipline muscle. Over time, these small victories add up and make discipline a part of their identity rather than just an occasional effort. Another crucial component of discipline is understanding delayed gratification. In today's fast-paced world, where instant rewards are available at every corner, whether it's social media likes, instant food deliveries, or quick fixes, it's becoming increasingly difficult for people to delay pleasure for a greater reward in the future. However, every significant achievement in life requires delayed gratification. Whether it's building a business, excelling in academics, or mastering a skill, true success demands the patience to endure discomfort and the foresight to keep going despite not seeing immediate results. Discipline teaches individuals to trust the process and remain focused on long-term goals rather than seeking instant validation. Self-accountability is another pillar of discipline. It's not enough to set goals and create plans. Individuals must also hold themselves accountable for their actions or lack thereof. Accountability means being honest with oneself, acknowledging mistakes, and taking responsibility for failures without shifting blame on others or external circumstances. Many people fall into the trap of justifying their lack of discipline with excuses such as, "I didn't have time. I was too tired," or "I'll start tomorrow." However, discipline thrives in an environment of honesty and ownership. People who master discipline don't allow excuses to dictate their actions. They find ways to stay on track despite challenges. Furthermore, discipline isn't about perfection, it's about consistency. Many people mistakenly believe that being disciplined means never slipping up or making mistakes. But discipline isn't about being flawless, it's about having the resilience to get back on track after a setback. For instance, if someone breaks their diet one day or skips a workout, a disciplined person doesn't let one failure spiral into a series of failures. Instead, they acknowledge the misstep, forgive themselves, and refocus on their goals. This mindset prevents small failures from derailing long-term progress. The role of discipline also extends beyond personal habits and into how individuals handle their emotions. Emotional discipline is the ability to remain composed, rational, and focused even in stressful or challenging situations. It's easy to react impulsively when faced with anger, fear, or frustration, but disciplined individuals understand the power of emotional control. They pause, reflect, and respond intentionally rather than reacting out of raw emotion. This emotional discipline allows them to navigate challenges and conflicts with clarity and maturity. Another overlooked aspect of discipline is the ability to set boundaries. People often struggle with saying no to distractions, unnecessary commitments, or people who drain their energy. Discipline requires individuals to protect their time, energy, and focus fiercely. It means turning off notifications, declining invitations that don't align with their goals, and prioritizing what truly matters. Without these boundaries, even the most disciplined plans can be disrupted by constant external demands. In essence, discipline is not something people are born with. It's something they cultivate through repeated action, self-awareness, and a commitment to growth. It's not always glamorous. In fact, discipline often feels boring, repetitive, and uncomfortable. but the results it produces are worth every sacrifice. Behind every successful person is a trail of disciplined actions, early mornings, late nights, skip parties, and countless moments of choosing long-term gain over short-term pleasure. Ultimately, discipline is not a punishment, it's a form of self-respect. It's choosing to honor one's goals, values, and commitments rather than being swayed by fleeting desires or external pressures. People who embrace discipline experience not only success, but also a deep sense of self-worth and confidence because they've proven to themselves time and time again that they can rely on their own word. Discipline is the secret ingredient that separates those who dream from those who achieve, and it's available to anyone willing to put in the effort. Resilience is the defining quality that separates those who achieve their goals from those who surrender to challenges. Life, by its very nature, is unpredictable. No matter how well someone plans or how diligently they prepare, setbacks, failures, and disappointments are inevitable. The key to long-term success is not in avoiding failure, but in learning how to rise every time you fall. Resilience is not about ignoring pain or pretending everything is fine. It's about acknowledging the struggle, accepting the lessons it brings, and using those lessons as fuel to move forward. Every setback holds a seed of growth, but only those who are resilient enough to keep going will ever see that seed bloom into success. One of the first steps in building resilience is shifting one's perspective on failure. Many people are conditioned to see failure as a dead end, a sign that they are not good enough or that their efforts were in vain. But failure is not final, it's feedback. Every failure offers valuable insights about what went wrong, what can be improved, and what needs to change. Resilient people don't see failure as a reflection of their worth, they see it as an opportunity to refine their approach. For instance, if someone starts a business and it doesn't succeed, a resilient person won't internalize that failure as I am a failure. Instead, they will ask, what can I learn from this experience to do better next time? This growth mindset transforms setbacks into stepping stones rather than roadblocks. Another crucial element of resilience is emotional regulation. Setbacks often come with intense emotions, frustration, disappointment, anger, and even sadness. It's natural to feel these emotions, but dwelling on them indefinitely can paralyze progress. Resilient individuals understand the importance of allowing themselves to feel, but they don't allow those feelings to control their actions. They process their emotions, acknowledge their disappointment, and then intentionally redirect their focus toward constructive solutions. For example, if someone loses a job they love, they might take time to grieve the loss, but they won't allow themselves to stay stuck in self-pity. Instead, they'll start looking for new opportunities, upgrading their skills, or networking with others. Resilience is also about adaptability, the ability to adjust plans and strategies when the original path is no longer viable. Rigidity in the face of adversity often leads to unnecessary frustration. Resilient people remain flexible and open to change. They understand that while their goals may remain constant, the route to achieving them might need to shift. This adaptability is especially important in today's rapidly changing world, where industries evolve, technology advances, and unexpected global events can disrupt even the most well thought out plans. Adaptability allows resilient individuals to pivot quickly and make the best out of challenging situations instead of wasting time lamenting what went wrong. Self-awareness plays a significant role in building resilience. People who are deeply in tune with their thoughts, emotions, and triggers are better equipped to handle setbacks. Self-awareness allows individuals to recognize when they're slipping into negative thought patterns or self-sabotaging behaviors. For instance, someone might notice that after a failure, their inner dialogue becomes overly critical and harsh. A self-aware person can catch this pattern and replace it with more constructive thoughts like, this setback doesn't define me. I am capable of overcoming this. Building this level of self-awareness requires regular reflection, whether through journaling, meditation, or honest conversations with trusted mentors or friends. Another characteristic of resilient individuals is their ability to maintain a sense of purpose. Having a strong why behind their actions gives them the strength to push through obstacles. When people have a clear understanding of why they're working towards a goal, whether it's to provide for their family, leave a legacy, or fulfill a personal dream, they become less likely to give up when challenges arise. Purpose acts as a guiding light in moments of darkness, reminding individuals of the bigger picture and encouraging them to keep moving forward, even when progress feels slow. Resilient individuals also surround themselves with the right support systems. No one achieves resilience in isolation. Having a network of supportive friends, mentors, or peers can provide both practical advice and emotional encouragement. When someone stumbles, having people who remind them of their strengths, encourage them to keep going, and offer valuable perspective can make all the difference. This doesn't mean relying on others to solve problems, but rather drawing strength from meaningful connections. Another critical component of resilience is self-compassion. People often treat themselves with far more harshness than they would treat a friend facing the same challenge. Resilient individuals understand that being kind to themselves during difficult times isn't a sign of weakness, but a source of strength. Instead of berating themselves for their mistakes, they practice forgiveness and remind themselves that setbacks are a natural part of growth. Self-compassion builds emotional resilience, preventing individuals from being crushed under the weight of their own self-criticism. Resilience is also built through small everyday actions. Every time someone overcomes a minor inconvenience, faces a small fear, or pushes through discomfort, they are training their resilience muscle. It's not always about surviving major life crises. Sometimes it's about handling the little challenges with grace and determination. Whether it's sticking to a fitness routine, having a difficult conversation, or tackling an intimidating task, each victory, no matter how small, reinforces resilience. Finally, resilience is rooted in hope. Even in the face of overwhelming odds, resilient individuals hold on to the belief that things can and will get better. This hope isn't blind optimism, it's a deep-seated conviction that with effort, adaptability, and persistence, progress is always possible. Hope fuels action, and action creates results. In essence, resilience isn't something people are born with. It's something they build through experience, reflection, and consistent effort. It's a skill that can be developed by anyone willing to face their struggles head on, learn from them, and rise again with renewed strength and clarity. Resilience isn't about avoiding failure. It's about refusing to let failure have the final say. It's the quiet determination to keep showing up no matter how many times life knocks you down. The environment we immerse ourselves in plays a fundamental role in shaping our behavior, mindset, and ultimately our success. It's not just about physical spaces, but also about the people we surround ourselves with, the information we consume, and the habits we allow to take root. Environment isn't limited to external surroundings. It includes emotional, social, and even digital spaces. Whether we realize it or not, our environment subtly influences our daily decisions, our resilience in the face of challenges, and our overall perspective on life. Therefore, being intentional about curating a supportive and empowering environment becomes a critical step toward achieving personal growth and long-term success. One of the most impactful aspects of our environment is the people we associate with. Humans are naturally social creatures, and our habits, thoughts, and emotional states are heavily influenced by those around us. If we spend significant time with people who are negative, unmotivated, or perpetually stuck in a victim mindset, it becomes increasingly difficult to maintain our own drive and positivity. On the contrary, being around ambitious, kind, and goal-oriented individuals tends to inspire and elevate our behavior. For instance, if someone spends time with a group of friends who prioritize fitness and healthy eating, they are more likely to adopt similar habits without much resistance. This happens because behaviors are contagious, both positive and negative. Beyond social connections, our physical surroundings also have a profound effect on our focus, creativity, and productivity. A cluttered and chaotic environment can lead to mental fog, reduced focus, and increased stress. Conversely, a clean, organized, and aesthetically pleasing space can improve clarity, reduce anxiety, and boost productivity. Studies have shown that something as simple as natural lighting in a workspace can significantly improve mood and cognitive performance. People often underestimate how small changes in their immediate environment, such as creating a dedicated workspace, eliminating distractions, or introducing elements of nature like plants, can have a big impact on their mental well-being and productivity. The digital environment is another area that has become increasingly significant in modern life. With the rise of social media, instant messaging, and content streaming platforms, people are constantly exposed to a flood of information. However, not all information is created equal. Mindlessly scrolling through negative news, toxic online discussions, or curated highlight reels of others' lives can create feelings of inadequacy, anxiety, and disillusionment. On the flip side, following thought leaders, consuming educational content, and using digital tools for self-development can turn digital spaces into powerful growth platforms. For example, someone who regularly listens to motivational podcasts or consumes content related to their field of interest is more likely to stay inspired and informed compared to someone who passively consumes irrelevant or harmful digital content. Another often overlooked aspect of environment is the emotional climate we cultivate in our daily lives. Emotional environments aren't necessarily tied to physical spaces or external people, but are created through internal dialogue, self-talk, and mindset. If someone wakes up every day and immediately focuses on what's wrong in their life, their emotional environment becomes a breeding ground for stress, frustration, and self-doubt. On the other hand, practicing gratitude, affirmations, or mindfulness can shift this internal environment to one of positivity, calmness, and empowerment. It's important to recognize that emotional environments require consistent maintenance, just like physical or digital spaces. Our habits also contribute to the environments we create. Habits are the invisible architects of our lives. They determine how we spend our time, how we respond to challenges, and how we progress toward our goals. Habits, both good and bad, are often triggered by cues in our environment. For instance, if someone keeps their running shoes by the door, they are more likely to follow through on their commitment to morning exercise. If junk food is readily available in the kitchen, unhealthy eating habits are more likely to persist. Therefore, designing environments that make good habits easier and bad habits harder is a practical way to take control of our behavior. Language and communication within our environment also play a key role. The way people around us speak, whether it's words of encouragement, constructive feedback, or persistent criticism, can shape our self-image and motivation. A workplace where employees are constantly criticized and undervalued creates an environment of fear and insecurity. Conversely, a culture of positive reinforcement and constructive dialogue fosters creativity, confidence, and loyalty. This principle applies to families, friendships, and teams alike. Words matter, and the language we allow in our environment can either lift us up or pull us down. An important part of managing our environment is recognizing the power of boundaries. Many people allow toxic relationships, overwhelming workloads, or unnecessary distractions to infiltrate their environment because they struggle to set and enforce boundaries. However, creating an optimal environment often means saying no to people, activities, or commitments. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishments. It's the invisible force that transforms intentions into actions and dreams into reality. While motivation might get you started, it's discipline that keeps you going when motivation fades. Many people mistakenly believe that success is built on moments of inspiration or extraordinary talent, but in reality, it's the daily commitment to consistent actions, even when you don't feel like it, that creates tangible results. Discipline isn't glamorous, and it doesn't always deliver instant gratification. It's about making decisions that align with your long-term goals, regardless of how you feel in the moment. One of the most critical aspects of discipline is time management. Time is one of the most finite and valuable resources we have, and disciplined individuals understand the importance of allocating it effectively. They prioritize tasks based on their significance and long-term impact rather than falling into the trap of busy work. Procrastination often arises from a lack of discipline, where individuals allow distractions or temporary discomfort to derail their focus. Disciplined individuals combat procrastination by adhering to schedules, setting deadlines, and breaking larger goals into smaller, manageable tasks. They recognize that time, once lost, cannot be recovered, and every moment spent on trivial activities could have been invested in something meaningful. Self-control is another fundamental component of discipline. It involves resisting short-term temptations in order to achieve long-term rewards. Whether it's resisting the urge to hit the snooze button, sticking to a workout routine, or maintaining focus on a project despite distractions, self-control is what keeps people aligned with their goals. This level of self-control doesn't happen overnight. It's a skill developed over time through repetition and conscious effort. For example, someone trying to build financial discipline might start by creating a monthly budget and sticking to it, even when tempting spending opportunities arise. Each time they say no to an unnecessary expense, they strengthen their self-control muscle. Consistency is often cited as the backbone of discipline. Many people start with enthusiasm but fail to sustain their efforts over time. This inconsistency is where most goals fall apart. Consistency isn't about monumental efforts. It's about showing up every day and doing the necessary work, no matter how small. A disciplined person understands that small, consistent actions compound over time and lead to significant results. But take fitness as an example. Spending 30 minutes a day exercising consistently over months will produce far greater results than an intense week-long workout followed by long periods of inactivity. The same principle applies to learning a skill, building a business, or cultivating a habit. Discipline also involves building systems and routines that minimize the need for willpower. Willpower is a finite resource, and relying solely on it can lead to burnout. Disciplined individuals understand this and create systems that automate good decisions. For instance, preparing meals in advance prevents impulsive, unhealthy eating choices, and setting up a dedicated workspace reduces distractions while working. These systems act as guardrails, keeping individuals on track even when their willpower is low. Routines, on the other hand, create predictability and reduce decision fatigue. When certain actions become habitual, they require less mental energy to execute. A powerful but often overlooked aspect of discipline is accountability. Disciplined individuals understand the importance of holding themselves accountable, whether through self-monitoring or involving others in their goals. This could involve tracking progress in a journal, setting measurable milestones, or sharing goals with a trusted friend or mentor. Accountability creates a sense of responsibility and reduces the temptation to give in to excuses. For instance, someone aiming to write a book might set a daily word count goal and share weekly updates with an accountability partner. Knowing someone else is aware of their progress can be a powerful motivator to stay disciplined. Discipline is also deeply tied to mindset. A disciplined mindset embraces delayed gratification and understands the difference between short-term pleasure and long-term fulfillment. This mindset requires a clear understanding of one's goals and the why behind them. When people are deeply connected to their purpose, discipline becomes less about restriction and more about empowerment. For example, someone pursuing a degree might remind themselves of the opportunities and impact their education will provide rather than focusing on the temporary discomfort of studying late at night. This mindset shift transforms discipline from a burdensome obligation into a powerful tool for personal growth. Another key component of discipline is resilience. Life is unpredictable, and even the most disciplined plans can encounter setbacks. Disciplined individuals don't let these setbacks derail their progress. Instead, they see obstacles as opportunities to learn and grow. They adapt their strategies without abandoning their goals. For example, someone training for a marathon might face an injury, but instead of giving up, they might focus on recovery exercises and adapt their training plan. Resilience allows disciplined individuals to stay committed even in the face of adversity. Discipline also requires an intentional relationship with discomfort. Growth rarely happens in comfort zones, and disciplined individuals are willing to face temporary discomfort to achieve lasting results. Whether it's waking up early, enduring physical strain during exercise, or spending hours refining a skill, discipline teaches people to endure short-term pain for long-term gain. The ability to push through discomfort is often what separates those who achieve their goals from those who abandon them. Lastly, discipline thrives on clarity. Disciplined individuals have a clear understanding of their priorities, and they make decisions that align with those priorities. They know their goals, why those goals matter, and the steps required to achieve them. Without clarity, discipline becomes difficult to maintain because there's no sense of direction. For instance, someone with a clear goal of saving a specific amount of money for a dream home will find it easier to resist impulsive spending because they have a compelling reason to stay disciplined. In essence, discipline isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. It's not about never failing, but about getting back on track every time you stumble. It's about doing what needs to be done, even when it's inconvenient or uncomfortable. Discipline isn't a personality trait reserved for a select few. It's a skill that anyone can develop with time, effort, and intention. When discipline becomes a way of life, success becomes not just a possibility, but an inevitability. Habits are the invisible architects of our lives, shaping our actions, decisions, and ultimately our outcomes. They are the small, consistent behaviors we repeat every day, often without even thinking about them. Building strong habits is one of the most effective ways to ensure long-term success because they allow us to operate efficiently and consistently toward our goals. While motivation might spark an initial desire to make changes, habits are what sustain those changes over time. Successful people understand that their daily routines and habits determine the trajectory of their lives far more than occasional bursts of effort or inspiration. Whether it's waking up early, dedicating time to learning, exercising regularly, or practicing mindfulness, strong habits create structure, reduce decision fatigue, and reinforce positive behaviors. One of the first steps in building strong habits is understanding the power of consistency. Consistency transforms small actions into meaningful results over time. For example, spending 10 minutes a day reading might not seem significant in the short term, but over a year, it adds up to more than 60 hours of knowledge gain. Similarly, saving a small percentage of income consistently can lead to substantial financial growth over time. The key to consistency is repetition, and repetition creates neural pathways in the brain that make habits automatic. When an action becomes habitual, it no longer requires significant mental energy or willpower to perform. This is why disciplined individuals focus on building habits rather than relying on fleeting bursts of motivation. Another essential factor in building habits is starting small. Many people fail at habit formation because they set overly ambitious goals right from the beginning. For instance, someone who wants to start exercising might commit to an hour-long workout every day. While this might be sustainable for a few days, it often leads to burnout or discouragement. A more effective approach is to start with small, manageable habits like doing 10 minutes of exercise every day. Small habits are easier to maintain, and once they become automatic, they can be expanded gradually. The principle of starting small works because it reduces resistance. When an action feels simple and achievable, there's less mental friction, making it easier to repeat consistently. Accountability is another powerful tool for building strong habits. When we make a commitment to someone else, whether it's a friend, a coach, or a family member, we are more likely to follow through. Accountability creates external pressure and adds an element of responsibility to our actions. For instance, someone aiming to improve their fitness might hire a personal trainer or join a workout group. Knowing that someone else is aware of their goals creates an added incentive to stay consistent. Additionally, tracking progress through journals, apps, or habit trackers can reinforce accountability. Seeing visible progress like checking off daily habits on a calendar can be incredibly motivating. Understanding the habit loop is also crucial for building strong habits. The habit loop consists of three main components: the cue, the routine, and the reward. The cue is the trigger that initiates the habit, the routine is the behavior itself, and the reward is the positive reinforcement that follows the action. For example, someone trying to build a habit of flossing might place dental floss next to their toothbrush cue, floss after brushing their teeth routine, and enjoy the feeling of a cleaner mouth reward. By intentionally designing this loop, individuals can create and reinforce positive habits. Similarly, breaking bad habits involves disrupting one or more parts of the habit loop, such as removing the cue or replacing the reward with something healthier. Mindset also plays a significant role in building habits. People who view habit building as a skill rather than a fixed trait are more likely to succeed. A growth mindset allows individuals to see setbacks as temporary obstacles rather than permanent failures. For example, if someone trying to build a habit of daily writing misses a day, they don't abandon the habit altogether. Instead, they view it as a minor setback and recommit to the habit the next day. This resilience is critical because building habits is rarely a linear process. It often involves ups, downs, and moments of doubt. The key is to stay focused on long-term consistency rather than perfection. The environment also has a significant impact on habit formation. Our surroundings often influence our behaviors more than we realize. For example, someone trying to eat healthier might find it challenging if their kitchen is filled with junk food. By creating an environment that supports their goals, like stocking the pantry with healthy snacks, they make it easier to stick to their habits. Similarly, removing distractions from a workspace can enhance productivity habits. Successful habit builders understand that they can design their environment to reduce friction and make positive behaviors more